10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Whack Whack Attack. Today is January 13th, and I say this every day that we've got big stuff happening, but seriously, big stuff is happening. So let's get started. The first thing is this tweet that was shared by Stupid Sexy Flanders. I'm sure other people too, but this is one that I caught, and it's a tweet from the Metamask account. And it says, when staking, we are extremely happy to announce that you can now stake ETH with Lido or Rocket Pool through the Portfolio dApp. So you can have a look in your Metamask, and in there you can swap your crypto for either Lido staked ETH or Rocket Pool's RETH, which is absolutely monumental. So there's this theory that a lot of Lido's STETH that they were able to stake came through their integration with Ledger hardware. So whenever you sign into the Ledger Live app, you'd get a little message there saying, why don't you stake your ETH with Lido? And they kind of had a referral program, right? So it was built into the app. Well, MetaMask has way more users than Ledger does. I think that's fair to say. And this being right there in their browser wallet is absolutely fantastic. It's a really, really big deal. So it's really exciting to see. The only thing I can say is I'd hoped that this had happened in 6 weeks time once Atlas was live, because that's when we'll be able to absorb that RETH demand, because we'll be able to literally onboard hundreds of thousands of new RETH without adding a single new node operator. So then there was this article from the block. It says Metamask staking beta now live with Lido Rocket Pool. Consensus says the service lets users connect to Lido and Rocket Pool and stake ETH to receive liquid staking tokens directly from the staking providers. So yeah, it seems like the contract they're using is just a deposit pool contract, but I don't know if anyone's really dug into that at the moment. I don't think they're going to the secondary market, so that means that the deposit pool is full. So again, we can't take advantage of it, sadly, which is really disappointing. Okay, and the next thing is Noshua asked, I wonder if MetaMask is getting a referral bonus like the one that I just mentioned from Lido, and if so, where that's coming from. Any IMC members around? So as you all know, the Incentive Management Committee is a part of the PDAO, which is a community DAO where a chunk of the inflation, 15% of the inflation goes to the PDAO, and half of that goes to the IMC, and the IMC is involved in incentivizing RETH liquidity. That's their main prerogative, and they basically incentivize trading pairs, etc. And the discussion about referrals was something that happened, but I guess Noshua was just asking is that what's happening here. So then we had Whisker came in and he said there are no incentives from the IMC plan. So it seems like MetaMask is doing this of their own volition, which is really, really great to see. And I'm so proud of the Rocket Pool protocol, the team, the community, everything, for really getting legitimized in these last few months and really becoming just a much more well-known presence, so much so that things like MetaMask are integrating us directly. Of course, we have to say that Consensus is part of the ODAO, but also Consensus is, I believe, a stakeholder in the company that manages Rocket Pool, but maybe people can clarify that. I'm fairly sure that's the case. So, we have deep integrations with Consensus. Of course, the Consensus roadmap post-merge said that they were going to stake with Rocket Pool. I don't think this is what they meant. I think there might be something else we're waiting for, but I don't really have news on that either. So this has been a really, really big development today. I don't think you can really overstate how important this is, and just how much adoption it will hopefully drive to Rocket Pool. Absolutely fantastic to see. Okay, next we have, so there is an issue, right? So nothing, of course, is perfect. So who's getting out of bed for a 4% yield says, oof, why did they go and compare the yield? You think they made a friend in this space and they throw you under a bus. Trust nobody. So in their marketing materials, they had the screenshot of what it looks like in the wallet when you are going to swap into an LSD token. And then with the Lido token, it says 5.22% rewards. And with the RETH percent, it says 4.59% rewards. So also they show the person with the STETH holding more than double the amount of the RETH, as you can see in the bottom. So people, like, we're kind of discussing why would they do this, because both of these numbers are technically wrong at the moment. Lido's offering around 4.8% and Rocket Pool's RETH is offering around 4.3%. So there is some difference, but it's not quite what they're showing here. So it's kind of like they're doing is dirty because most people sadly will choose the option that gives them slightly better rewards. And here the rewards are over 10% higher. So it might not seem that significant, but people, like, it's half a basis point basically. So people might be more inclined to choose Lido instead of RETH. But still, like, overall, like, Shifrin says, I was about to post this, and he then goes on to tweet Shifrin. Let me see. He said, I replied with this tweet to the Metamask tweet. He says, I'm pumped that you're making huge implementations with LSDs. However, that image is a little misleading. The yields shown are inaccurate. Also, Rocket Pool is the clear choice for the greater good of Ethereum, according to, and then there's a link to the Ethereum website. And sorry, my face is cutting off, but you've all seen this before. The Rocket Pool LSD on the left is all green all the way, and then Stakewise doesn't have permissionless nodes, and Lido is not trustless and does not have permissionless nodes. So the only option that has all green everything from the Ethereum Foundation is Rocket Pool. So that should add some weight, I think, but I guess it doesn't. Anyway, let's move on. Next, we had this nice milestone on the Ethereum mainnet, and there was a 500,000th validator that came online, which is amazing to see. And then that means we had like 16.1 million ETH staked on Beacon Chain, which is a great target, but I think it's going to go at least double from that, if not more. So this is validator number 500,000 is a Rocket Pool validator, which was really cool to see. And then there's a link to the Beacon Chain website where you can see that it is, let's see, sorry, I'm not sure where it says that it's a Rocket Pool. Oh yeah, it's a Rocket Pool. Like, so look, there's a tab for it right here, and it says that it's a mini pool and blah blah blah, and it's in New York. So congratulations to the mini pool number 500,000. So really, really wonderful to see. Okay, next we have this post from Joe who says, I put up a DAO post on reward spec version 4. If you're into Rocket Pool governance, please give me your feedback. And then there's a link to the DAO forum. It says, hey everyone, I'd like to make a quick post about the state of rewards tree spec 4 to keep everyone in the loop. TLDR, the spec has now been written and is ready for review. It makes one change to the existing rules, and this is in collateral rewards. The win node effective stake is determined as changed. Previously, it relied on this contract call, and then there's a contract call is now being calculated explicitly for each node using the number of active mini pools according to the Beacon chain, not according to the contracts. Please see that section for more details on new calculation method. So then it goes on to explain how that's working and what's happening. And it's kind of technical. I don't fully understand what it is, but go ahead, have a look at it. And Joe says he'd like to include it in interval 6, which is February 16th. So that gives us about 5 weeks to get it all through governance. And so far, a couple of people have liked this and have responded. Pieter says, seems like a desirable, non-controversial improvement to me. And then a couple of nitpicks. And then Joe messaged and D2 says, agree, non-controversial, a great idea. As with any changes to rewards, timing should go into effect at the start of a new cycle rather than the end of a cycle, so that implementation is not directed backwards retroactively at past performance. So that's an interesting point there as well. So if you have any ideas about this, any thoughts about this, please go to the DAO forum and read through the post and make your opinion known, because we'll be voting on it very soon, I think. Okay, so yesterday I put a message in our ETH Finance, which is on Reddit, the subreddit for Ethereum, And one of the people in there is Logris the Bard, who is kind of like a tokenomics expert. And Logris released a thesis for RPL price that was more bearish than anyone else that I'd seen, like, who actually put serious thought into it. So Logris' target was somewhere around 0.35 to 0.035 to 0.05. So at the time it was like a 5x basically, when other people were calling for a 10 to 40x. So and after that as well, he was kind of bearish for a while on Rocket Pool, because he felt like, we want gaining market share quickly enough. So yesterday I posted a comment in trading about how our ETH price was at an all-time high against ETH, and then he replied saying, slowly approaching my target. This post has aged so well. If I was updating my values today, I'd adjust the target market share down to 20% from 25%. Still huge growth from today. The target ETH stake from 21 million to 30 million, given what I think we'll see with eigenlayer. The bond percent from 0.15 to 0.25, just given more data. And I'd like to adjust for BEP8. This puts the target ratio closer to 0.1. Plenty of opportunity still. So that's the 5x from now instead of from his original post. This is the only RPL I've sold so far, has been LP'd into our ETH RPL pool for some high APR farming. I'm quite comfortable with those gains, having more RETH at the end and a steady drip of farming rewards in the interim. So this was a slight change from Logris' previous numbers. And I think it's really cool that, he's kind of getting a little bit more bullish than he was before. So that's very exciting to see. And I hope, he's right with his targets heading up to those amounts. So that's really good. Let's have a look. Next, we have this article from the Defiant. It says Coinbase Rocket Pool Lido. So this is liquidity staking race ratchets up as Rocket Pool members size up latest move. So it's basically talking about the Rocket Pool community. It's like a lot of coverage from the Rocket Pool community in this article. It says liquidity race just got a lot more heated. On Thursday, Coinbase Ventures, a subsidiary of the US's largest centralized staking exchange, said it planned to join forces with Rocket Pool's powerful Oracle DAO. The move may help Rocket Pool gain ground on its rival Lido. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit later as well, but they're talking about how lots of community members got quoted in this article. Let me just read a little bit more of it. With almost 500 million in TVL, Rocket Pool is the third largest liquid staking entity behind Lido and Coinbase itself. It's popular with hardline advocates of decentralization, some of whom view its competitors with suspicion. Rocket Pool has a dual governance structure with responsibilities split between two decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs. Among other things, members of the Oracle DAO run Rocket Pool nodes, the technology required to stake Ether, and vote on Rocket Pool contract upgrades. In return, they are compensated in RPL. Members have a ton of power, but not as individuals, only as majority of the group. Valdorf, the pseudonymous treasurer of Rocket Pool's incentive committee, told the Defiant via Discord on Thursday. Some members see themselves as a stewardship role and use their influence to help the protocol, its mission of securing the network. Very decentralized manner, they said. Some members are much more passive and mostly lend the association with a respected name. So then Jasper, Rocket Pool's pseudonymous community advocate, said membership often is a launchpad for further collaboration, especially given the RPL rewards members earn. In a statement shared by Rocket Pool General Manager Darren Langley Wednesday, Coinbase Ventures said it was excited to support Ethereum's staking decentralization. So then there was suspicion that was there as well. So the article kind of goes into that. So you can read it all and check it out. But it seems like it was decent coverage. Some of the community members were just it was a copy and paste job from community comments, but hey, that's what you get. So, okay, overnight we got teased with a new all-time high, but we didn't quite hit it. So the all-time high is 0.0205, and we got as high as 0.020141, which is very close to it, very, very close, but we just missed out on it. However, what has happened since yesterday is there's been a major price pump. So at the time, the price was $23, and now the price is in the low 30s, I think. going as high as $32, I think. So there's been a huge pump in the markets today, but overnight there was a lot of price action for the RPL token, with big fluctuations, like up to 5-6% fluctuations. So one of the reasons why there was such a fluctuation was at 0.2017, F411 started selling their stack of RPL, and they had about $600,000 worth of RPL that they sold pretty much in trades of 35 ETH over and over again. So they had a whole bunch of them, and they got rid of a big chunk of their stack. I think it was like $600,000 worth in the end, which was a lot. I remember when F411 was buying, and they bought quite a lot quite quickly as well. So it's a real shame to see them cashing out. But they sold a lot. Like all of these sells in a row were all from them. And then someone said something really interesting. That the person bought a couple of times in the past 6 months, and here's the wallet that the RPL is coming out from. And Brune says, "How press is that you?" And the person took some solid profits. They got in about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and they got like some nice gains on RPL. Against ETH and in US dollar terms. And then Bawcey was saying, "I bet it's hard press, to be honest," which it might be hard press because hard press has been talking about RPL quite a lot since the merge and like the periods after that. So if he thought there was like a LSD trade to happen, then it might be him. And we expect that size, like $600,000 worth, could potentially be him. So the thing is, F411 bought market and sold market. So live by the market, die by the market. But that definitely like smacked down the ratio quite a lot. I think it went down to 0.191 at one point. And it really did take quite a big hit. So let's see what next. The next is someone who was really special, who is Adada, who is one of our who's a day trader in the Rocket Pool community. We don't know who this person is, but the community is kind of like has a love-hate relationship with Adada because they buy and sell pretty much every day, and it seems like they do it kind of willy-nilly, let's just say, without much forethought in their trades. Well, we can't basically discern what their rationale is. So Adada basically at this point, like yesterday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time, he bought, and then literally 15 minutes later, like 9:28, he sold. So this is the kind of thing that Adada does, like just buys and sells, and like selling at a loss as well, and like all this kind of stuff. It's just really funny that that's their MO. But it definitely got the community talking about what they're doing. So someone ran their address through a Coinly report, and so for 2021 they had a loss of nearly $11,000. In 2022 they had a loss of nearly $12,000. And in 2023, currently they're in a profit of $2,000. So, Adada's trading is definitely, top notch right there. So another really funny thing that happened is people realized that Adada is the name of a Korean film from 1987. And there's a quick description of it here. Let me see if I can find it. This is the movie's main plot. Adada, who believes that money is a disaster, throws it into the river, firmly believing that money must be destroyed in order to protect hard-won happiness. So, people were really laughing at that because this modern Adada also, it seems like they're just throwing their money away. So it's really funny. It's really funny. So one of the things that Hodja then did overnight was, or this morning, he says, while people work on important analysis such as Rocket Pool investment thesis and analyzing whether deposit pool queues should be increased prior to LEB8s, I have focused efforts on another important question to the Rocket Pool trading community. Has Adada been profitable in trading RPL? The answer to such mysteries below. So then there's a link to, oh wait, what's going on here? I don't know why this has happened. So there might be some issue with Hodge's website. I hope that's all okay. I'm going to step away from that. But it's a dashboard that's showing Adada's trades going in and out of RPL, and basically showing how much they've lost. So it was a nice little thing. Sorry about the Hodja. I'll have the link in the description below, so you can go find it. Maybe it'll work for you. Okay, next we had this thing that came out of Myso Finance, which is already an upgrade. Just from a couple of days ago, we talked about how they started RETH into WETH lending and borrowing to enable hyper staking or folding. So now they've got a new product. It says new pool improved efficiency, including RPL USDC pool, efficiency upgrades to our pools and more. So it says since our version 1 launch on January 10th, we've got an amazing feedback from our community as well as the Rocket Pool community about our overall product and initial RETH WETH pool. We've already noticed great interest in hyper staking RETH through our initial pool, allowing for borrowers to get leverage exposure to RETH. This serves a strong yield enhancement strategy, as the borrowed WETH can be used to open additional borrow positions or be swapped back to RETH and recollateralized in the same pool, for example. Additionally, a hyperstaking offer like this without any liquidation risk has not been seen before in DeFi. We know that users will continue to want to capture this additional upside on the RETH that they hold. So now in the version 1.1 upgrade, they have a new pool, and the pool is the first pool we're rolling out in conjunction with our version 1.1 upgrade is an RPL USDC pool. So borrowers will be able to put up their RPL as collateral and take out USDC loans, adding additional utility to RPL, enabling RPL holders to temporarily shift their portfolio composition while maintaining full RPL upside. So like kind of like the way Maker works, I think, is where you deposit your ETH and get DAI in return. Here you can deposit your RPL and get USDC in return, and once you pay back your loan, then you can get all your RPL back. So it's really great product, and I hope that it does really well. And Myso Finance, it seems like have done some really cool things in the community. So congratulations to them for being so responsive. And I think they're going to come on the Twitter space in the next couple of weeks. I think that's to be decided. So that will definitely be one to check out. Good job. Okay, Sleety shared this video, and Rocket Fuel's kind of going long today, and I've still got a few more things to cover, so I'm not going to play the video like I originally anticipated I would. But it says for a few minutes, from 1 hour 26 minutes to 1 hour 28 minutes 30 seconds, Sreenam talks about how Rocket Pool node operators could be paid more by services built on top of eigenlayer due to subjective weighting, greater value of Rocket Pool operators. So Sreenam talks about how Rocket Pool has a built-in community of like decentralization that's matched only by solo stakers, and how this is a huge commodity, and how changing some withdrawal criteria and putting up like your node as collateral, in a sense, you can validate more than just the Ethereum mainnet, and because of that you'll get rewards on top. So one of the really interesting things that I saw in this video, for this small clip, I didn't watch the whole video, was Sreenam talking about how you can have things that are not slashable as additional duties. So the idea was, like on the Ethereum mainnet, you can get slashed, you can lose your ETH, and on eigenlayer there'll be services that will also be able to slash you if you do things badly and in a bad way or malicious way, incorrect way or something. But in this video he's talking about things that are not slashable and still earn rewards. So I think that'll be a lot more risk-free way of getting some additional yield on your node. It's very exciting. Sadly, we're still a long way away from realizing this and eigenlayer being a reality. I think they're hoping for some kind of alpha or beta to go live in the summer, and then maybe a mainnet rollout by the end of the year. But it's definitely something that has a lot of people in the community very excited. People do have some question marks that are still there, but hopefully they'll deliver really well. Okay, next we have this comment from Superphiz, who says, I'm working on some festivities for January 18th. So at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we'll join Kyle from Gitcoin to set up his first Rocket Pool node. And then around 12:30, I think that's AM Eastern time, I plan to stream my Oracle DAO and maybe invite other ODAO members to stream with us if they're around. So Phiz is really taking like this ODAO stuff seriously. Gitcoin is being added as a new ODAO. I think it's going to get voted on in the next round. So it's really cool that Kyle from Gitcoin is starting to get involved in the process already. And Phiz, rallying people like Susano and Yorick, I think, have been quite responsive to this, and maybe, I'm not sure if he's going to try to get the bankless people involved, but whoever, I guess, from the ODAO, they're all welcome to join. So this is really cool. And then Kyle actually popped into trading, and the KBW right here, and he says, so excited for the support, thanks Phiz. And Phiz says, welcome to trading, Kyle from Gitcoin. This is where the shit show happens. So it's really cool that, more people from the ODAO are starting to come into the community, starting to engage with us and kind of build bridges, because for a while, a lot of the ODAO and the community were kind of divided and there wasn't much communication back and forth. So it's really cool that, Superphiz, Sasano and others like them have really stepped up with this and tried to make this happen. So congrats to you guys. Thanks for increasing the transparency. Oh, and then something else Phiz here is working on. He says, I started noodling on this. I'm sure something similar exists, but I wanted to do it. I also welcome links to other versions of it. So there's a Google spreadsheet, a Google sheet, and it says it's basically analyzing solo staking, Rocket Pool staking, and as a node operator, and Rocket Pool staking as a RETH holder. And it gives some breakdown of what is happening at each in each service, and what the advantages and disadvantages are. For example, solo staking requires 32 ETH. You're a direct network participant, 100% staking rewards. Uses the native clients choose to use MEV or not. Does not offer liquidity tokens. Rewards paid every 6 minutes or on proposals. And then for Rocket Pool staking node operator requires 17.6 ETH, and that's 16 ETH plus RPL. Direct network participant with additional smart contract, 115% staking rewards plus RPL rewards, uses native clients, and then just goes through the features of that. And then RETH holder, no minimum smart contract participant, you only get 85% of staking rewards, does not require any software, benefits from MEV extraction, exists as liquidity token useful in DeFi, gets steady reward. The token price always climbs slowly, about 4.5% a year. Little or no direct community, may participate in the Rocket Pool community. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure other people will add to this, develop it. Phiz was talking about how a lot of people come to him for this information. So he wants to set up this place where people can go and kind of figure it out for themselves. It's really cool that he's getting this information. So that's nice. Okay, Sleety also shared this video of bankless from today. So bankless said 2 minutes of Rocket Pool coverage today on bankless regarding Coinbase and Rocket Pool, and trading also gets a mention. They said trading is one of the most energized communities in all of crypto, which is fantastic. And in the episode, they were talking about how Coinbase is becoming an ODAO member, and David actually said something really interesting, which he said that getting onto the ODAO is kind of like a step towards integrating the project or working more closely with the project, and he thinks that the community believes that it might be a step towards Coinbase, instead of doing their own staking in-house, they might be putting it onto Rocket Pool instead. So if that's the case, that's fantastic. It would be so much easier for them to do that. So right now Coinbase charges a 25% fee of staking rewards. So instead of doing that, what they could do is mint RETH, and once Atlas goes live and there's huge space and huge ability to mint RETH, they could mint RETH on behalf of their customers, pay 15% to the node operators, keep 10% for doing nothing at all, and then give 75% to their Coinbase customers. So if that is on the trajectory, that would be extremely bullish. But there's no evidence of that yet. But it might be heading towards that direction in the future, which would be extremely exciting to see. Next, we have this quick update from Bawcey, who's talking about his Proteus, which is the new staking hardware that Joe Clapis is releasing. So here there's an image that he wants to put on his custom plate for the Proteus. And then there's an update from Joe, from Bawcey himself. Joe sent him a picture of that image printed out, which looks really great. It looks really great. So this image was designed by Sleety, who did a fantastic job with it as always, because Sleety's great. And there's even a little hidden rocket right there in the bottom on the right of center. It's that's really cool. So that turned out really nicely, and it's looking really cool, and people are getting really excited about getting their Proteuses, or Protei, I think is what Patches says the official plural. But that's really exciting. So I can't wait to get my hands on mine. Yesterday in the chit chat, we came up with Ken came up with some ideas of potential events that we can do at Denver. And so there's a meet and greet with Joe, photos with Joe, autograph session with Joe, clubbing with Joe, pub crawl with Joe, story time with Joe, bare metal to validating with Joe, gaming with Joe, morning run with Joe, coffee with Joe, or bowling for rocket pool with Joe, of course, and everyone, I guess. So have a read of the description. There's like really they're really funny, they're really cool. But during the chit chat, we were talking about a lot of different fun things that can happen, like people wearing, or maybe team members or volunteers wearing these like astronaut jumpsuits, and other things like riding a bike to power a Proteus, because it only takes like 5 watts of power when it's acting as a node, like very, very power intensive. So you can ride an exercise bike to power it, which would be so easy, because an average exercise bike you can get 60 to 100 watts of power without any much strenuous action. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about that booth. I think there's some really fun things that are going to be planned for it. And finally, I'm going to finish on this really happy and exciting news. Hanniabu shares this text right here. He says, "I'm reaching out on behalf of the Ethereum Foundation in regards to an application you submitted for ecosystem developer. Our hiring team reviewed your resume and would like to meet with you to discuss your interest in the role." So Hanniabu is a well-established member of the Rocket Pool community and of the ETH Finance community. Working for the Ethereum Foundation is an absolute dream for Hanni, and I'm sure many other people as well. So the fact that Hanni's getting an interview with Ethereum Foundation is something really exciting, something we champion and support, because we want our community members to succeed wherever they're doing, and this is so exciting. So Hanni, we wish you the best of luck. We hope that you succeed in this, and we can't wait to read up and hear updates about what's going on. So on that note, this has been the mammoth episode. There's been so much going on. The next one will be here on Tuesday, because Monday is a holiday in the US. So I'll be taking a long weekend. So I will see you all on Tuesday, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.